Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. How you doing? It's a brand spanking new night shift week, and it's community and finance night. I want to say big ups to each and everybody tuned in right now. I kind of sound like that guy that always saying really. You know which one, right? Orange top. Yeah, him. Okay, so I need to fix that. But welcome to the night shift. It's Monday. It's where we start off a brand new night shift week. It's where we start off a brand new month. And I want to say thank you to each and everyone tuning in right now. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. Wouldn't even want to try. Those who have it locked on TuneIn Radio, the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Okay. Yeah, TuneIn Radio, night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, rockthebox.net, the Foundation Radio Network with Clinton Lindsay, ClintonLindsay.com. Thank you, and all the other affiliate stations around the world. Thank you. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and I promise you, I wouldn't try. Kicking it up, little Aaron Duncan.
Nobody say
The track is called Better Days.
this would have been easy. Oh, on your way, you might come across some troubles on your journey. I know that it could get rough sometimes, and it does get tough sometimes. But don't go sit down in all of your problems. I only up and smile. You better get off my child, 'cause royalty running in your veins, and I know it's easy to complain. But there are better days ahead of you. Better days are coming. And I know things are a little hard for you, but better days are coming. I know the journey that you're on is might seem long, but they say what will kill you, it does only make you strong. But there's better days ahead of you. Better days are coming. Better days, it 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 coming. I know you're feeling, like you really want to stop falling, and you're balling, calling out on your knees, But brighter days gonna come soon. Jaja, he loves you, I know that it could get rough sometimes, and it does get tough sometimes. But don't go sit down in all of your problems. I only up and smile. You better get off my child, 'cause royalty running in your veins, and I know it's easy to complain. But there are better days ahead of you. Better days are coming. And I know things are a little hard for you.
I want to say thank you to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show.
I know the journey that you're
And being in the moment is priceless.
but they say what will kill you.
I'm going to give them a call. 754-999-6020.
Better days are
754-999-6020.
coming.
Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you.
It coming. Better days, 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 it coming. Nobody say, this would have been easy. Oh, on your way, you might come across some troubles on your journey. I know that it could get rough sometimes, and it does get tough sometimes. But don't go sit down in all of your problems. I only up and smile. You better get off my child, 'cause royalty running in your veins, and I know it's easy to complain.
Yeah, I know, royalty running in your veins.
Better days are coming.
And you know, it's not a lot of people that can really claim royalty.
Get tough sometimes, but don't go sit
And there's not a lot of people that can recognize royalty in other people.
You better get off my child, 'cause royalty running in your veins, and I know it's easy to complain. But there are better days ahead of you. Better days are coming.
So I want to say a special big up to all my royal kings and queens out there.
It's a lot for you.
Big up to my brethren Marlon. Reggae music edutainer extraordinaire. Always giving the stories behind the stories that make up the reggae music industry. Talk about the history. Check Marlon. Real rockers. Monday and Wednesday. Right before me.
Nobody say, hey, this would have been easy. Oh, on your way, hey, you might come across some troubles on your journey. Hey, I know that it can get rough sometimes, and it does get tough sometimes. But don't go sit down.
Yeah, we know it can get rough sometimes.
You better get off my train. There's royalty running in your veins, and I know it's easy to complain.
But what is it that makes us strong? When we get knocked down and stay down and wallow in it. Or we get knocked down and we get up and say, listen, you will not hold me down. I will rise above this. Especially if I'm not alone. When you have family, people in your corner, they may not have to be by blood, you know. Sometimes you have the ones that come along in your life that are much closer than the blood. Yeah, that's family. It's on a diaspora. We're coming into this carnival week in South Florida. We're going to be jumping. I'll tell you right now, I'm not jumping. So if you're looking out to see me in like a Speedos thing, no. I left my summer body in the other closet. I'll go pick it up a little bit later on.
Holding on to you to keep from falling. I feel the pressure rising up inside me. I'm holding on for you. Don't keep me waiting when the tension rises. You are my soul, family. When you make me feel this way.
Just waiting to make this connection with Owen in Jamaica. We seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulty.
Holding on to you like you're holding on to me.
Good evening, 248. you can do what you want.
Let me do what I want. I feel like drink, I drinking. I feel like spend, I spending. I feel like get on bad like a hooligan. Love me, let me do what I want. What I want, what I want, what I want. I do it what I want.
What do you want?
What I want, what I want, what I want. I do it what I want.
So I got some disturbing news earlier on today.
I want to release some stress. I know my girlfriend do vex, but is she business?
You know, my alma mater is caught up in some little wranglings.
Who thought they go talk about this your business? Cause when I reach in a party, I not thinking about.
For those of you who don't know, I'm a St. George's College old boy.
I'm doing it how I want. To drink a rum that will stop me. I not thinking about leaving now. I'm getting on, I'm fetting on. I'm doing it how I want. I feel like drunk, I drunken. I feel like jump, I jump in. I feel like get on.
And I'm hoping that when Owen comes on, he can shed some light on the situation.
I feel like get on bad like a hooligan.
But apparently there was this incident with a KC student.
I do it what I want.
And it somehow turns out that some George's boys were involved.
Rolling up and down in the dirt, cause it's
So talk about concern.
all me, bills don't pay. Tonight I must get.
And upon revelation that a George's boy was involved in what, or two George's boys were involved with what happened with the KC boy.
I'm fetting on, I'm doing it how I want.
Some KC students decided, listen,
Not thinking about it.
we're going to wait for some George's boys.
I'm doing it how I want. I feel like jump,
Based on how I got the story.
I feel like jump, I jump in. I feel like get on,
And a young Georgian got
let me do what I want. I feel like drink, I
hurt in retaliation.
spending. I feel like get on bad like a hooligan. Love,
But listen,
do what I want, what I want, what I want, what I want. I do.
this kind of thing can't go on. We need to move away from this kind of life.
I want what I want. I do it what I want. Get drunk and do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want.
We need to move away from the doing whatever we want kind of mentality, because
And do what you
we feel jilted in some sort of way, slighted.
and do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want. Cause when I reach in a party, I not thinking about leaving now. I getting on, I'm fetting on, I'm doing it how I want. To drink a rum that will stop me, I not thinking about leaving now. I'm getting on, I'm fetting on, I'm doing it how I want. I feel like drunk, I drunken. I feel like jump, I jump in. I feel like get on bad like a vagabond. Long let me do what I want. I feel like drink, I drinking. I feel like spend, I spending. I feel like get on bad like a hooligan. Long let me do what I want. So amazing, so amazing. I'm feeling so amazing.
I'm feeling so amazing myself. That would be so super amazing if we could sort this out with Casey and George. It's ASAP, like last week. That would be really amazing. If nobody else got injured, there are no more incidents, we can get back to doing what we should do as schoolboys and enjoy life. I say we because I still have that connection to my alma mater. Problem Child's so amazing, and it's so amazing sometimes that we have bad connections, but when we do manage to connect, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Owen, welcome to the show, bro.
Evening, Kev. I'm here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad I could have you on. I know we have a topic for tonight in retrieving police records, and but
Okay.
as a quick little update, state of emergency lifted? Yes, no?
No, still in force. It was initially placed for 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's always the option for it to an extension to be done. So we're at day 7, I believe. It was announced last week, Sunday.
Yeah.
So day 8, yeah. So we still have a ways to go.
Okay. With regard to the George's Casey incident, you heard about it?
I saw a video. Is that the robbery?
Yes.
With Which one? Yeah, I saw the clip. I don't think I spent a lot of time looking at it because how it was sent to me was a very, very short clip. So I don't know as much about it as I probably should.
Now, we know people impersonate students from other schools all the time, so I'm hoping it's a case of impersonations. But even so, I'm hoping more that it can come to a quick resolve. And I'm praying that it does. Because one student that has nothing to do with anything has already been injured in retaliation.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good at all. That's not good.
No, it's not. So we pray for our students. And with what we saw, we were exposed to recently with that Calabar video, that Calabar student. I don't even know what has come off that. But
I can speak to that a little bit, only to say that the video is not recent. The video was recorded in 2017.
Okay.
And my information is that the school has taken action. I wouldn't say to dismiss the young man, but to support the young man to find an alternative mode of socialization. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
So we actually apparently needed some particular support, and the school made effort to.
Yeah, he needs guidance. He needs to come out of that environment that he is in, that is encouraging him for that to be his modus operandi, to say.
Yes.
All right, so 20 minutes after the hour, welcome to the night shift. Those of you just tuning in, on the line is Owen K.Ferguson, Esquire, out of Kingston, Jamaica, legal advisor to the night shift on things relating to the diaspora. And tonight we're looking at obtaining police records.
Correct.
All right.
So what is clear, Kev, is that there are a number of processes that Jamaicans, particularly Jamaicans overseas, sometimes engage in that require to have and present a clean police record from their home country, Jamaica.
Right.
It sometimes involves employment, it's sometimes in relation to higher education, and in fact, the immigration process itself, whether it's US, Canada, UK, all of these jurisdictions require that you have a clean police record, that no recent crimes in your background, and that your record is clean. And so this evening we'll talk real quickly about how to obtain a clean police record.
Okay.
Now, the service is provided, of course, by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and it is available to persons locally as well as outside of Jamaica. The service is delivered through the portal of the JCF. One can go on and apply there, and I'm going to walk you through what is required and the steps and so on. First of all, let's just talk about the service can be delivered at 3 speeds. So there are 3 speeds that they are offered. There's a 21-day service, which is they regard it as a standard service at a cost of $3,000. That's Jamaican dollars.
Okay.
There's a 5-day service, and these are all working days now. So a 5-day service, which is effectively a week, and that's a $6,000 cost. And then there's a next day service, which is at an $8,000 cost. Now, you can access that service, as I said, online, or if you're in Jamaica, through any of the local tax offices. If, however, you want the overnight service, the next day service, then that has to be done at the Duke Street location of the JCF Investigative Unit. They're at 34 Duke Street. All right, so in order to do the application, it involves fingerprinting of the applicant. So if you're outside of Jamaica, you may say, okay, how am I going to get my fingerprints done? Well, the process allows for you to get that done at any local police entity in the city that you reside. So you can go to your local police entity and they will direct you whether to county or state or whatever the entity is.
Yeah.
That you conduct the fingerprints for you, get that authenticated, and that can be sent down along with the other items that are required for your application.
Well, I know that part of it is easy enough.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
So along with that, you need 2 passport photographs, 2 recent passport size photographs. They're not to be authenticated in any way. So it's just 2 plain photographs, passport size. Along with that, you're going to make a copy of your passport. This is important. You're going to make a copy of your passport, meaning the photo page of your passport. So that page that has all of the detail.
Yes.
The passport number and your full name and so on. You're going to make a photocopy of that page and have that authenticated as well. So you'll have your notary authenticate that photocopy. Then you need to make a draft payable to the Commissioner of Police for the fee. Now, because you're paying from outside of Jamaica, you will, use the day's exchange rate and send the equivalent amount, whether it's the $3,000 or the $6,000 or the $8,000 fee that you'd like to have, which are the services you'd like to have your processing done through.
Okay.
Now, some persons outside Jamaica have a TRN, and you may ask, what happens if I don't have one? If you don't have one, it can still be facilitated, except that your application will be processed through the government, the JCF's finance branch at their Oxford Road location, which is, for those who are familiar and remember what New Kingston looks like, as one of the tallest buildings on the outskirts of New Kingston at Oxford Road and Old Hope Road.
Yes, okay. I used to work right there.
Oh, you used to work right there. What used to be
It was the Mutual Life building and the Mutual Life Twin building.
So there's a tower, a second tower had been built.
Yes.
So it's the north tower that this office is located at.
Memories.
Oh, yes. All right, so those are what would be required. The TRN, if you have one, your fingerprints from your local police office, the 2 photographs, and the photo page of your passport, and that has to be authenticated, and of course your payment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can do this entirely on your own, sending it in a package through to the offices here in Jamaica, or if you want to send it through a friend or family member in Jamaica to do the application on your behalf, that's also possible. In sending that friend or family member through to do the application for you, will need to send along written request. Of course, that request would have to be authenticated as well to say that John Brown is acting on my behalf in applying for this police record, and please deliver the results to him. Of course, again, that would be notarized.
Isn't that quite similar to giving power of attorney?
It would be a limited power in this case.
Okay.
So it would be limited to this specific act.
Right.
So it's really just a request. I suppose it will be limited to the extent that all they're asking them to do is to perform this application on your behalf and to collect the result.
Now, tell us again how long the process will take, approximately.
Right. So the standard service is 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
Just approximately a month, because this is 21 working days.
Right.
There's a 5-day service, that's a 1-week service. And then there's an overnight service for $8,000 Jamaican.
Right. Let me see now.
Now,
the current exchange rate, you're talking about $80.
For 8,000 would be a little less than $80, unless you're including lunch money for whoever it is that you're sending to get it done for you.
Right, $80. That doesn't sound like an expensive venture at all.
No, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. What it likely is tied to, and the ultimate result that you're looking for, it probably is quite worth it. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds doable.
So that's a process, and it's pretty straightforward. It's a process I have accessed myself on behalf of others. Yes. And I happen to know it's a fairly efficient process, and the timelines that they have outlined are, for the most part, maintained. So it's one of those services in the Jamaican government system that does work as promised.
Now, if one doesn't have anybody to act on their behalf and they can't do it themselves, is this an expensive process to go through, like your office or any other lawyer's office?
Well, clearly I will speak for myself. I've done it on behalf of my clients, usually as part of another transaction that I'm doing.
Okay.
And in those circumstances, there are no additional charges. And frankly, even if it is a standalone transaction, it really would just be a question of covering the cost of having my bureau
do
the rounds to get this done, you know?
Right.
So it's really not, it's not a revenue service at all. It's really just providing that kind of support for persons who need it.
Nice. So either way, one should be able to manage to get this sometimes much needed bit of information.
Much needed, and I find that people are sometimes very reticent to do it, very apprehensive because things take long in Jamaica and it's inefficient and so on. I'm here to tell you, having used the service more than once, it is not as inefficient as some other things. It works fairly well, and it can be done in the time stated. Right.
So on the long end, it's a month.
Correct. That's the standard service, and then there are two other services: a 1 week service and a next day service.
Right. Well, once again, I want to thank you very much, bro. Much needed information. And
absolutely.
Your contact information so that people can reach out to you if they need you for this and any other service.
Oh, okay, sure. So it's my email, Owen K.Ferguson @hotmail.com, and my telephone number 876-840-5862.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, man.
Pass on the love to the family. Take care.
Will do. All right.
I know you're not back 100% yet, but we're working towards
it.
There.
Yes, getting there.
All right, man. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go down.
Take care. All right, blessings.
Later.
We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, it is my other guest for the evening. Owen is not really a guest. So we'll be talking with Alana DaCosta of Kr8tive Uprising when we come back. Call a friend, tell a friend, drag them over. Let's sit and chat with Alana for a minute. And you can call, you can text 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. All right, cool. We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsing Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
Kr8tive's Massive and Crew is the second annual Caribbean Celeb Basketball Game 2018 featuring FFY Team versus VP Records Team, going down on Saturday, October 6th at the Sunset Lakes Community Center Indoor Basketball Gym, 2801 Southwest 186th Avenue, Miramar, Florida. Is going to be at 1:30 p.m. It's a free event. This year's event is in aid of the Shaq's Hope Foundation in order to help those affected by sickle cell disease. Donations will be accepted at the game. Special appearance by Miss Jamaica, Florida 2018, Dion Calendar. Commentary by Sir Rockwell, Nico Rebel, and Echo Slim. Big up our sponsors: Da Flavor Radio, Elite Global, JTMC Enterprise, Rock the Box, The Foundation Radio, South Florida Caribbean News, Music Meets Sports, Reggae Flavors, Real Rockers, All Time Printing, Heavy Beat, Vin Studio, Gifted Roots, GMAC Music Solutions, Miss Jamaica, Florida, Karen Vibes, Like That, and Kevin Stew. It's the second annual Caribbean Celeb Basketball Game.
Hi, this is Caramanti, and you're listening to DJ Kevin Stew, and this is The Night Shift.
Yo! Stop chat about me. I'm a chat about. You can't hear me. Stop chat about me. Yeah, you don't know Fire Blaze alongside Alana. I'm so tired, so damn tired of people coming up to me, questioning my identity. Watching me. I'm so tired, so damn tired of people coming up to me, questioning my identity, saying what's going on with your head. Looks like you're growing dreads. Some would rather be dead, thinking they can get ahead. Them say me nah get a job with a head like that, and you better find a Russian fix it. But when me granny ask if me a turn ras, I just smile and say it's more than that. Granny, I love my night. Let them know I'm just happy to be naked, and I won't change the way the most high made it. I'm happy to be nappy, and I don't need no LYE. See, I'm happy to be nappy. I'm not ashamed of how God made me. Don't try to put a label on. No, y'all stop judging. Don't judge me. Stop tired. Stop your roots, twist, lock, and grow them. Yeah. Stop chat about me. Stop your noise. Spiritually uplifted mind, body, and soul. Straight roots and culture, that's how we flow. All of with the fire that they can't control. Yo, I'm here to let the music grow. Cause I'm happy to be happy. So go your Congo natty. Nobody can stop it. Just the right, just a carry me. I'm here to speak the truth. Coming straight from the root. man with a blessed salute. Yo, bless.
Coming straight from the roots.
Yeah.
I want to welcome you all back to the show. It's the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. And right now, without further ado, I have the one and only, no stranger to the show, but it has been a while. So if you're new to the Night Shift, I will introduce to you for the first time. But it's not the first time that she's hanging out with me. She's done it before. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, Alana DaCosta.
Hey. Good evening, good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you, Alana?
I am blessed and thankful.
Boy, you sound like you had a long day.
Very long day.
I understand. You're sounding
For the
like how I
last few
feel.
months that there have been very long days, yeah.
I know. You sound like how I feel. I understand completely. Welcome, everybody, to the Night Shift. If you're just tuning in, it's Community and Finance Night, and this segment of the show is brought to you courtesy of GMAC Music Solutions, bringing music to life. You want to give them a call, 754-307-4622. Easy way to remember it, 754-307-GMAC. And, oh, you know what? It's funny, because GMAC, who I have a new track to play for you guys, some of you might have heard it. I'm going to play it later on. GMAC and you go way back. And that rhymes. Alana?
Yes, really?
Yeah, Gary.
Yes, Gary. Oh my goodness, yes. Gary, it's been a long time. Very long time.
And so he has finally done a single.
Nice.
Finally made it into the studio. Yeah, that's what everybody say. It's about
nice.
So he has finally made it into the studio. So yeah, his rendition of "Things You Say You Love."
Okay.
Things You Say, yeah.
Nice. Did he release a song already?
Yes, I'll be playing it later on.
Okay, nice.
It has been released. Much awaited. All right, but we're not talking about Gary right now and GMAC, and we're talking about Kr8tive Uprising and Alana DaCosta.
Yes.
So, what is Kr8tive Uprising, Alana? Since the last time you were on the show, and I had to have been probably 3 years ago. You have been doing things in the community.
Yes.
And there are some things that you're really passionate about. Talk to us a little bit.
Well, Kr8tive Uprising is my project that I initially started out on myself. For me, you know, being creative has always been a healing outlet for me. I wrote poetry, sing songs, all of those things always gave me a platform to kind of help release certain anxieties and certain stress, daily stress.
Yeah.
So for me, I said, let me try working with youth with the same project. So I went into Department of Juvenile Justice, working in the foster care system, also working with youth that have developmental disabilities, work with adults that have traumatic brain injury, and we did all of these kind of expressive arts projects, and to see the impact that it had on them, for me, I said I want to really, you know, expand it out into a community and do more workshops and really allow people to have a creative platform to really tap into that creative energy so they can kind of create change, because the way the world is moving now, you know, we need to be responsible for all of our actions, all of our thoughts. And in a nutshell, that is what Kr8tive Uprising is allowing people to be socially responsible with their creative energy.
Socially responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that sounds like a tall order.
Yes, it is. It is.
And I'll I'm gonna ask you how it is that you plan to make that happen. I know you said you're working with young people,
Yes.
and that is it's a nice way to reach the community because you bend the tree when it's young, it will
Mhm.
grow that way.
Mhm.
But that's no easy feat because even if you work with a set of kids for 2 3 hours out of the day, they're still going back to wherever they're coming
Exactly.
from.
Exactly. Exactly. But I think what it does is exposure is so important, and even for adults as well, not only for children. I think the more we are able to have positive experiences, an
Mm.
experience of genuine connection, then we would want to be responsible. We would want to protect our neighbor and ourselves. We would want to make sure that our thoughts and actions are those that are going to uplift us as a community. So I think by exposing them and giving them those opportunities to have complete control over what they create and being involved in that creative process, it heals in so many ways. You know, I
Mm.
may not see the end result, but at least I know I'm giving them a platform and I'm giving them an experience where they can tap into something maybe in their natural environment they wouldn't be able to.
How long now have you been doing Creative Uprising? You said you started it out on yourself.
Yes, well, I just recently got the company incorporated. However, I was a therapist for many years.
Mm-hmm.
That was, you know, my what I went to school to study was psychology and mental health counseling, and also music. So even when I was a therapist, I always incorporated visual arts. I incorporated music in my sessions with my patients.
Mm.
For me, it was a way to connect, especially when working with people who have been abused. It was a way to kind of break down the barriers, you know, listen to a song and have them kind of explore with some of the words and how they felt with hearing those songs. And then when I lost my father and my father passed in 2007, I decided I don't really want to do mental health counseling anymore. I don't want to do therapy. I think I need to heal myself some before I help others. And I used my creative energy as a way to kind of grieve and deal with my grieving and kind of heal myself.
Right.
And I wanted to share that experience. I wanted to help other people realize that regardless if you call yourself an artist or a singer or a dancer, that you still have creative energy. You know, you create conversations, you create thoughts, you create feelings, and those are just as powerful as a song that I may write or a painting that someone paints. You know, and just to give them that ability to kind of explore and look at things that may be untapped, you know, things that they may be scars that they're dealing with. For me, music and poetry helped me on so many levels dealing with just daily stressors of life.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
music has been the thing that has kept me going pretty much all my life myself.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I know I would come in and be drained, like completely drained,
Mhm, mhm.
and 9:50 rolls around, and I start picking up, and 9:59 hits, and I position my finger to press that play button, and I'm a new creature.
Mhm, mhm. It does it to you. I was watching a documentary some years ago where, because I've always been interested in the impact of music, and I saw where there was this man. I think he had had a stroke or some kind of brain injury,
Hmm.
and he couldn't walk and he couldn't speak. He was like, basically he just sat in a chair all day and ate. And when he ate, you know, he ate breakfast and lunch and stuff.
Right.
They would put on headsets on this man, this elder, and play childhood music. And he would get up and he would walk and he would be able to say like one or two words. And once the music stopped, it's like he went back into this zombie state. And I was like, I was amazed by that. And when
Wow.
I just to see the impact, and then to dig more and to see not only music but visual arts and dance and all of these things that we take as just for entertainment and pleasure actually can heal and actually can create connection between people that you wouldn't imagine. So yeah.
Now, for those who have seen some of your pictures from your whether it be from your social media or anywhere they've seen you live, you have been doing your art and making yourself a bit of a canvas
Oh
of
yes.
art. Um, tell me about that. Tell us about that.
Okay, so for me, I think everything we have access to everything, right?
Right.
We have the ability to tap into anything that we want to. When I when I put on my makeup or when I put on my mask, as I say it, it allows me to tap into something that I wouldn't necessarily do on a day-to-day basis. It allows me to explore, parts of me that I wouldn't really do like at my job, right?
Mm.
So growing up, I've always liked to play dress up and, paint my face and just do things where it allowed me to just really think out of the box and just explore who Alana is. So, like I've told this story many times, like, no, really? Like, people will say to me, oh, can you do this project? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, knowing that I've never done one like that before. And then I'll, like, put the pressure, because I think that, and I'm not saying this only me, I think we all have that ability that once, we really tap into parts unknown, we're able to create and we're able to build and we're able to evolve. So that's just my long answer to your short question.
Oh, listen. I take all length answers.
Yeah,
It's not an issue.
yeah,
This is the Alana DaCosta show, the Creative
yeah,
Uprising slash Alana
yeah.
DaCosta show. So you take any
And
amount of time.
yeah. And then also, like, for me, I think it's important for us to, identify with parts of ourselves that are unknown. So when I say
Mm.
that, I believe that all people are of the African diaspora, right?
Mm.
And I believe also that a lot of times, because we don't know certain things, because we're ignorant to certain things, we shun it. Or
Right.
because certain things have been demonized or looked upon as, um, not valued on a human basis.
Uh,
It's kind of shunned. So I have always been someone to look at indigenous cultures as well and look at dying cultures, because there are cultures that are not existing anymore, and reaching back and looking to see, what can I learn from that? What can I take from that to carry on, and build upon my legacy, and to that when I'm no longer here, it gets carried on. Because I think there's so many things that we take for granted that is in our foundation that we need to be able to look back and kind of learn from and honor and give respect to.
and with the blending of all of these, you give us Creative Uprising.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I like this. I like this logo that you guys have.
Oh, thank you. That logo was done by Nikki Lopez Kr8tive. Um,
Nice.
yes, she's an amazing multidisciplinary artist, amazing mother. She graphic designer, web designer. So she's done so much and continues to do so much and evolve. And she helped me with that. I gave her some of my ideas of what I wanted it to represent, and, you know, and for me, it captures that, you know, because when I initially had that name, it's like about 6 years ago, so many people were like, oh, you know, you should change the name. It sounds too aggressive, and it sounds like, you know, you want to be able to work with people, right? And then I have some of the logo. It's a black fist, so people say, oh, you know, it may turn off some people. You know, it may be too militant. And I was like, well, that's what I want. I want people to kind of question what it is, because at the end of the day, an uprising is an uprising, right?
Right.
And whether or not you go with the flow or not, there is going to be one, right? So I want people to kind of, it triggers some things in people, and I want it to also trigger conversations to people who be like, well, what do you mean by that? You know, what kind of uprising are you trying to create? Right? So it allows people also to realize that our words are powerful. Our word sound is power, and everything within Kr8tive Rising, I hold some significance to it. So even the 8 has significance. You know, there's even the K has significance. There's so many different things that we do not pay attention to in life that hold significance. And I think the more...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think the more we tap into that awareness, and then the more we can kind of see the alignment between different things, the better able we are to create positive life experiences for everyone, for ourselves, for our, you know, family, for our friends, for our community at large.
Right, because you mentioned the creativeness behind Kr8tive, the word, and I was going to ask you about that. Why would you choose to not use Kr8tive the way it is spelled in the dictionary? Why would you choose to use a K and an 8 instead of EA?
Well, the K is a long story. The K is I don't think we have enough time, but I'll talk about the 8. The 8 holds significance. Numbers, I love numbers, and I love symbols. And if you even look at the symbol of 8, it's a never ending. It's infinity. It's infinite, right? It's an abundance. It also signifies leadership, and it signifies creativity. It signifies the lower and the above, right? It signifies so much, that number 8. And for me, like I said before, I really believe that our creative energy is infinite. It's abundant. You know, and everything that we need, the Most High bless us with from the beginning.
Yes.
We just have to really just tap into that awareness and give respect and gratitude and humility, and be willing to step outside of your comfort zone, right? And for me, the 8, if you research the number 8, you will see it. The symbol of that, it signifies a lot of what Kr8tive Uprising stands for. And then just why if you can look at it and know it's creative, okay, well, why spell it the way everybody else spell it? Right? We don't have to.
You know, that would be the simple answer.
I like that too. Like, you know, phonetics. You know, a lot of times people say, oh, you know, there's proper this and proper that. There's no proper this and proper that. There's the way people do things, and there's the way people don't do things. You know, so we gotta be able to bend at times and think out the box.
Well, you know what? Let me bounce this off of you. I have a friend that she says she still has issues with grasping that concept that I am coming with this. And I know if she's listening right now, she's probably chuckling to herself. But I did a show on hate. And I thought I have to do something with the word hate.
Mhm.
It can't be what people know it as. I don't want them
Mhm.
leaving the show with the same, coming in with the same idea of hate as what they came into the show with.
Mhm.
And so I changed it into an acronym and called it and expanded it to having acceptance through enlightenment.
Mm.
Totally flipping it on its head.
Mhm.
And with you talking about, the significance of symbols to you and how you're using it in the name Kr8tive Uprising,
Mhm.
I just thought, you know what? Let me just go ahead and bounce this off of her and see how she
Mhm.
reacts to it. And I like your reaction.
Yeah, it's important that because we have to realize that these words, in actuality, they are not our words.
Right.
These are not our native indigenous words that we've used. So a lot of them, we're using them, and we're using them against ourselves, right? So I think it's very important that we reclaim what is unknown and make it our own, and make it have power. And that's in everything. And we as a people are known to do that. So why not tap into it even more? And we're supposed to be able to have different perspectives and look at things through different perspectives. That's a part of evolving.
Right.
We can't just be looking at the cover of the book. We got to look at the spine. We got to look at the back. We got to look at the inside. We have to really look at different things from different angles to be able to grow as individuals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like the growth that you're encouraging.
Yeah.
How many people do you have working with you, or agencies that have become a part of this to help you along the way in enlightening others and spreading the word and getting a word out there and changing one young mind at a time?
Oh, well, so many. I've been able to fortunate to work with so many different agencies. The Urban League of Broward County. I worked with them, and then after working with them several years later, I was able to apply for a grant, a small business grant, and which was able to help me kick off the business. I also worked with the Dennis Project, which is a small nonprofit that is a youth leadership program, and they work with youth, teaching them STEM and robotics and also entrepreneurship skills. I've worked with the YMCA, Young at Art, so many different agencies to list. The Flight Center, also the VSA, now known as All Arts. And what the VSA is known for doing is giving children who have disabilities or children that may be incarcerated an ability to explore the arts and experience the arts. So I've been able to go in and work with those youth, which has been amazing. I learned so much from them, and they humble me so much. I've worked with a lot of I really try to push myself and work with different agencies. Recently I was working with a program where I worked with adults, which I typically choose not to work with adults.
Why is
just
that?
Because children are just a little bit more open to change, and children love being children, and I think we as adults forget that we were once children, and it's okay to play and joke and everything. Life is not that serious, and they remind me, and they give me opportunity and a safe space to be a child and enjoy exploring and painting and singing and dancing and just being in that space without being judged. So adults can be mean. They say children can be mean. Adults can be mean too. Yes.
Marlon had said, Marlon big up Marlon Burrell, host of
Yes.
Real Rockers.
Yes.
He said when you mentioned the spelling and the creativity behind the name, who decides what is proper anyway? And
Exact. Oh, my point.
with talking about the children, it comes back to that same kind of a thing because they operate differently. I myself have interactions with children daily, and it's real different.
Yep.
Dealing
Yep.
with
Very
them.
different.
No.
Very different. They like I said, they just remind me that I was once a child, and I'm able to revisit and explore and use my imagination, and it's fun to be able to do that. I think as adults we should do that more often.
Yeah.
We should, do it more often.
Before I ask you where you want to see Kr8tive Uprising going, this past weekend, 2 weekends ago, you had an event involving art, and it's art in different ways. There's rhythmic art, and there was visual art, as well as, not so much culinary art as you had this weekend, because that meal, that sampling was just delightful.
Nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you to Taco Genius. They were our sponsors that night. So big up to them.
And you had some other sponsors 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we had Beehive from Las Olas Beehive Kitchen. Amazing food. They hooked us up for the workshop, and the workshop was basically an interdisciplinary workshop where participants were able to come in and create a spoken word piece, also a visual arts piece, and also be involved in dance and movement.
Nice.
And it was fun, it was fun to kind of, because like I said, I've done these activities before with youth, and they love it. And to be able to, have adults be able to participate and also enjoy it, it felt good. And I was like, okay, maybe I am doing something right. It did feel good. So
I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Where do you want to see Kr8tive Uprising going?
I want to go global. Like I've always envisioned like having a mobile unit, something where I can convert like a school bus and have like a pull-out stage and go to different communities and work with them and have them like at the end of maybe 8 sessions have like a community, performance or a community like, street fest or something. I just really, really want people to really enjoy creating and connecting, and I want to be able to make more music with it and share more art with it. So I think for me, like, people always ask me, oh, Alana, what about your music? And when you going to come out with your album? You've been doing this like 17-year album, like the album not come out, like what's going on? But for me, like, I can't stop working in the community. Like the community, it has to be hand in hand. So whatever I'm going to do, whether it be music, art, poetry, if community is not tied to it, then I don't feel like that's what I want to do. And getting a record deal is not the goal. I want to be able to go worldwide and share, expressive arts with people and giving people platforms to kind of connect and meet through the arts. That's where I see it.
Well, I'm pretty sure there are ways that you can work putting in a compilation.
Yeah.
You could probably make it an interactive compilation.
Yeah.
With songs and video and pictures.
Yeah.
And market it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to connect with like I want to, like, one of the artists that was that was here at the performance on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
he came in from Philly, and he was like, "Oh, there's an organization in Philadelphia that does something similar." So I want to be able to, because I believe partnership is important. So to be able, you
Yes.
can't do this by yourself,
Right,
like,
right, right.
and I'm pretty sure there are other people, other like-minded people that are either doing the same thing or want to do the same thing. So I definitely want to connect with those like-minded people and, have people explore their creative energy. That is the goal. I think just me just planting those seeds, it'll just create a ripple effect of change. And
Mm-hmm.
it may
Mm-hmm.
sound a little corny or a little cheesy, but
Oh no,
I'm
no, no, no. Not
optimistic.
at
I'm
all.
very optimistic, and I really believe that once people really recognize the power that they have in every action and every thought, that the place will just be a better place to live in for all
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd like to believe that myself. Um,
Mhm.
and it's one of the reasons why I try to talk to so many people doing things that are relevant. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
And people, and I want to discuss things that affect regular people on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And the less it is talked about, the more I'm interested in it because it's there for because of something. So
Exactly.
why? You know,
Exactly.
why do we feel that if we have a disagreement with someone, we need to draw blood? Why?
Exactly.
You know?
I think it's ego, and I think it's also, we want to defend what we feel is right. We feel that belief is an extension of us, right? And at the end of the day, we are fluid.
Mm.
So we have to be able to realize that, yeah, we can have these beliefs, but we are fluid people, and we should be evolving and changing and wanting to learn at least why we have these beliefs. Some people just have these beliefs and don't even know why they have the belief. So we got to be able to be willing to dig deeper and realize that we're not going to always agree, and that's okay. We don't want to be all, looking the same, thinking the same. It would be a very boring life and world
Hmm.
if that was the
Right?
case. Yeah, we can. But we have to know how to disagree in a respectful manner, and how to connect in a respectful manner without judgment and without really, like you said, willing to draw blood, take life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to value each other.
Are those the key elements when dealing with the children? Those are key elements that you focus on. And what are some of the methods, um, or the focal points, I should say, when using visual arts and expressive arts in dance and in song and in music? What are some
Mm.
of the focus points that you tend to use?
Well, what I connection, first of all, and
Mm-hmm.
that everyone has a voice and everyone has the right to use their voice. I also, one thing, a lot of times when I'm working with the youth, they're expecting me to come in and tell them what to do, right? I'm the teacher. I'm gonna come in and tell them this is what we're doing,
Right, right,
and
right, right.
that's not how I address it. From the very beginning, have them involved in the creative process. We do initially when I go and meet with the youth, to have them do a brainstorming activity where let's do a simple ink block. They choose their colors and they do an ink block. And then based on that ink block, whatever they see, I write it down. Whatever they feel, I write it down. And then from that, we build and we decide, okay, what are we going to do based on that? And then from that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, what can we create that's going to give a visual of that? And then from that, we say, okay, well, what words, you know? So I have them involved in the whole process, because in life, you're involved in the whole process.
Right.
There's not one part of it where you're not responsible for what the end result is going to become, right? So I have them experience that, and I have them do it in a collective manner to where everyone respects when everyone is talking, and everyone respects what everyone offers, and we make it work. We make it work. And I give
I
time
like that.
restraints.
Ah,
I like to play with time. So because what's one thing I don't like, but in the reality is we have time restraints, you know. And then I realize, you know, when we use time a different, or does even the students realize when they use time a different way, they'll be like, they'll finish like way before the time is done. They're like, "Oh, miss, I have more time." I'm like, yeah, you see what happens when you use your time wisely. You end up with more time than
mm,
you think, right?
right,
So
right, right.
I use a lot of things like real life situations, but make it in a way where it's kind of not obvious. And then we have conversations about it depending on their abilities.
Do you have a particular location where you meet? And is it a regular thing at a regular time? How do you operate?
It's different. Usually I get hired from either a business or a program or a project. This recent one that I just did, I applied for a grant through the Broward Cultural Arts Division,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to help to fund to bring that to the community. But usually it's either a private agency, or they hire me as an independent contractor to come in and work with their youth, or with, you know, their participants. Usually it's for a time frame, you know, like I usually go into the dentist project at least once or twice a year, and I, you know, work with their youth. So
Mm-hmm.
it varies depending on the client, or depending on the agency.
You mentioned this last project. What was this last project?
This last project was the Kr8tive Uprising, a healing arts movement. So it
Mm.
was basically bringing what I've been doing for years with youth to an open community. I've never really done that before.
Mm.
Like, where I say, adults, come, you know, let's do this. And I was very apprehensive because, like I said, you know, children are so open, and there's just they just want to see paint. They don't care what they're gonna do. You know,
Right,
adults,
right, right.
when you present it like that, they're like, oh well, I'm not a kid. Oh well, you don't have to be a kid to paint. You know, you don't have to be a kid to use your imagination. Or they feel like, oh well, I can't. Adults love to say can't, and when
We get a lot of
children
practice.
say can't, and when children say it, I'm able to help them reuse their words and say, well, no, you can't. This may be challenging. It may be difficult. It may be hard, but it's not that you can't. Do you need help? And they'll be like, okay, yes, miss, I need help. You know,
Mm.
so it's like I can really kind of have them look at it from a different perspective. And an adult says can't, or they say, I'm trying. I said, no, you're not trying, you're doing, and look at me sideways like, girl, what you mean? You know,
Ah,
don't talk to me that way, or, you know, that's so,
yeah.
it's like, it's a little bit more work and a little bit more energy. And this project, I was like, no, I really, really, really want anybody who's open to come and experience it. And I had about 9 people come, and it was a small group, which I'm happy for. And they really dug deep, and they gave their all, and they were willing. You know, some of them were willing to come back and perform, and I'm so thankful that they
Mm.
participated and that they shared, and that what blew me away was on Saturday we were able to get like 90% of the audience like on stage dancing and moving and playing instruments, and that was
Nice,
what I wanted to
nice.
see at the end. I wanted to see people not just coming to watch a show, but actually to become a part of the show, because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
again, that is life. You can't just sit on the sidelines and be
Right.
like, watching everybody on, flipping on Instagram and just watching everybody living life. You gotta find your position,
And
hold your position, and do what you have to do.
yeah,
Simple, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we mentioned your music earlier on,
Hmm.
and I have a couple of tracks of yours from before. At the beginning of the show, I played "Happy to Be Nappy," which, if you don't tell the age, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would not know the age of that song.
I know, it's so old.
I didn't really realize that I didn't even remember I had this track. I have that
Yeah.
one, and I have Taking It Back.
Okay, yes, yes, yes.
And
Yeah.
but now you have something new.
It's fairly new, but it's also old, which, like a lot of my music, it really is hard for me to release. Like,
Mm.
I hold on to them, like, for so many reasons. And I think this is human beings. We just feel like, I think we're our toughest critical. Like, we're so critical on ourselves, right? But this last one I released last year.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know how well it was received, but I did release it.
When
Yes.
when we're rolling out officially, I'm gonna play this song. I'm gonna have you set it up
Okay.
and use it as your outro.
Okay.
Um, for those of you who are tuning in, 773-789 Stu gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text. I haven't seen any text message. I encourage you to go to the chat room. No, go to the Stew Pot on kevinstew.com. Jump on in the pot with us, and don't be shy. It's a judgment-free zone here, and even if I judge you a little bit, Alana won't at all.
No. No, I won't.
So I'm still a work in progress. No, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm
We're
just playing.
all works in progress.
I won't judge you. Let me just let it out there now. I was just playing. I won't judge you. But you can call. You want to say something? You want to encourage Alana on this journey, on this part of the journey? You can do that. We don't mind. She's gonna bounce out of here in just a few moments because she has had an extremely long day. I kind of sprung this on her short notice, but she's a real champ and was willing to come and share with us. I did happen to be a part of that experience on Saturday for a brief moment. I did have to leave to go to another. Funny enough, the Paint and Sip, another art event.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Hosted by Mark Campbell. Yeah. Mark Cameron and Paul Campbell.
Okay, yes, I know Paul Campbell.
Right. Who doesn't know Paul Campbell, boy?
I know, you better know or the Mad Max will come out if you don't know him.
Right? Or the lunatic. You choose one.
Yes, exactly.
Aloysius. But and amateurs got the opportunity to express themselves on canvas, and they got to take home the pieces that they made. And those who have never painted, I've heard people say, you know what, I'm coming back because this is so much needed. And these were adults. So here you are catering to the younger generation, and here they are giving this to the adults. And I almost felt like I had an art overload because prior to that I was down by VP Live Showcase, and that's art again being presented in live format.
Nice.
So just art.
It's an art
day,
takeover.
you know.
It's an art takeover, yes.
But that experience that I had with you guys done at 1310, that was a totally different experience. Seeing some of you down there with the makeup, I guess you could call it tribal-esque makeup. It was so rootsy.
Nice.
You know, when I say rootsy, I mean back to African roots, and
Nice.
it was just different. And then having everybody be able, those involved, and hearing the stories behind what the involvement is.
Exactly.
I was just like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that, to be able to have a platform or give, people a platform to be able to really, really just connect and enjoy, like you said, the roots.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it has to feel good. And the only way for it to feel good is to from the root go up, you know? And I think the only way to do that is with a grassroots type of mentality or type of movement. Like it can't be like even there were so many connections that I made that night of with strangers, right? And I think that the more we're able to do this and the more connections we'll have, the more we'll be able to link people of like minds. And regardless of the color of their skin, realize that, you know what, we're on the same journey and we hold the same responsibility to make sure that this life experience is a good one for all people.
Yeah.
We have to, and the only way we can do that is kind of break down the barriers and tell our stories and not be ashamed of our stories and just really connect.
You know, the paint and sip event was held in a photo studio in Luke Ballantyne's Moment to Remember studio. And when paintings are not on the walls, these creations by way of photography are on the wall. And when I hear Luke talk about photos, it's like the way I'm hearing you talk about expressing yourself through the arts of another kind. And you already incorporate painting and song and dance. And I've seen some photography, not a whole lot, but I guess that completes it. And I know you guys have connections with photographers and all, but what's the next event is where I'm coming at, and what do you already have one put together? What are some of the facets that people can expect if you already do? If not, then that's cool. I'll wait.
Well, definitely something is on the fire. There will definitely be another event coming up soon. I am looking at doing something in May also for Mental Health Awareness Month. And it will also
that's for me.
Yeah, it will also be in it will also be at the gallery. A couple years ago, a business friend of mine, best friend of mine as well, we did International Kindness Day. So we're looking to do that again. And there's so many things that I want to do that I'm doing, and it's hard to like sometimes keep track. Like you were saying, you were multitasking earlier. I feel like I'm always multitasking, and multitasking is actually not good for the brain, to believe it or not.
Yes,
it's already
isn't.
It's already doing so much things already.
Yes.
But definitely more music. I'm planning on recording some new music. I feel like I have been doing so much community work and focusing a lot on my visual arts that I stepped back from singing and write. Well, I still write, but I don't really perform and sing as often as I did. So I miss that, and I really want to be able to do more of that. So definitely more singing. And yeah, more events. I've been making proposals to different youth agencies and different organizations because I do want to take Kr8tive Uprising into, those environments and maybe do like an 8-week session or something to where, the students or the participants really kind of explore, and then at the end of that have like a performance. So I do want to be able to do that. So anyone that is open to bringing Kr8tive Uprising to your school or to your nursing home, because I do love the elders, or to, your rehab center, I'm here. And I'm affordable because
Right.
because it's not just me. I really, like I said, I
You
get
have a
them
team.
involved in the
Yeah.
creative process. Yeah, they
Right,
are the
right.
team. They become the team.
Right, right.
Yes.
Okay. So as we roll out, thank you to JTMC for sponsoring this segment. JTMC Enterprises involved in promotions and marketing. Thank you very much. Um, with rolling out and letting you get some rest,
Hmm.
contact information, social media information, and tell us about Victim
Okay.
in that order. You have to end with Victim because
Okay.
that's
Yes. Okay. Well, social media. Let's get that out. I am a I'm a IG junkie. Like I really prefer Instagram. So
mm,
Instagram, I'm on there. My personal page is Rebel Ross 77. The Kr8tive Uprising is simply Kr8tive Uprising Inc. And we have another page, Kr8tive Uprising, where that's going to be really controlled by youth. And right now, I don't really have any content for them to put up that I feel it is necessary at this time. So
okay.
the main page is Kr8tive Uprising Inc.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own website, alanadacosta.com.
Right. Creative
Um,
Rebel.
yeah, creative rebel that I am. Um, what was the next one you said? Next,
So
where
social
can they
media.
find me? Social media? Okay, so Facebook,
Contact
Alana
information.
DaCosta.
Yes.
My name, if you just Google my name, it should come up.
Right.
Another look like tagline I use is a lady named DaCosta.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use that hashtag, I also will come up on that as well. A lady named DaCosta.
Okay.
And
And
yeah.
Victim.
Victim. So Victim actually, even though it was released last year, was written. When did I write Victim? I think I was like 2019 or 20, I don't remember, but it was at least 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
that I wrote that song, and it originally was a poem that I wrote for a competition that I was in, and it talks about just carrying that label of being a victim or being victimized and how it really can stunt your growth, right? In whatever area that you're victimized in, right?
Mm.
And whatever stage of development you're in. When you experience trauma, you're stunted in that area. And sometimes what we as human beings tend to do is that we victimize ourselves, and we because there's benefits of being a victim, right? There's
Right.
certain advantages of being a victim. So not to downplay any type of trauma or any type of victimization or abuse, not to downplay it at all and not to blame the victim at all. But I think from my experience of what I had to deal with, it allowed me to use that trauma. It empowered me to speak out and to put myself in a place where I no longer felt like I was a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, like how you changed that word hate, I changed that word victim. And
Right.
that word victim for me meant survivor. It meant healer. It meant teacher. It meant student. It meant, that at the end of the day, it was up to me to define that experience, that traumatic experience. And I wasn't going to let it define me, because I know that we are a resilient people.
Right.
We are resilient.
That we are.
So that's victim in a nutshell. You know, that man, woman, child, elder, whatever you want to label yourself as, at the end of the day, you need to tap into that resilience. You need to keep pushing on.
I thank you, Alana.
Thank
you
you
very much for
invite.
pushing on too.
Yes, thank you. I will not stop.
Don't stop.
Not stopping. Not stopping. Never.
No
ever.
room for that. No room for that.
No room for that. None.
Thank
Yes.
you again, Alana.
Thank
Please,
you.
we've been in touch ever since the first time
Yes.
we got connected.
It's a long, I know.
Yeah.
Time fly too.
And
it's like,
it's
what?
It's funny, the other connections that we have and didn't even really know of them. You know, there's well, I knew about Gary because it was through Gary that I connected with you initially. But then there's the Wild Tree connection, and then there's the Annette Brissett connection.
So many.
And as the connections grow and it spreads wider, you just feel closer nonetheless.
Yeah.
In the mix of it. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, we are all connected because we don't know it.
Yeah.
We don't know it, but we are.
Yeah.
You know, on so many levels. And then everything, there are no accidents.
None at all.
It's not an accident.
None at all.
So I really am humbled. And I'm thankful for you allowing me to visit, you know, to join the show tonight.
My pleasure in being able to facilitate the Kr8tive Uprising show.
Thank you. Yes, be prepared.
This
is both the end and the beginning.
See, now we're getting all philosophical with it.
Yes.
Big up to the guys in the chat, in the stew pot. I need to get out of the habit of calling it a chat. It's not a chat, it's a stew pot.
It's a stew pot.
Yeah. Guest 806 and Wild 2. Speaking of Wild Tree, I don't even know which one of them that is. But I see through that name. You can't hide. Alright, Alana, we're going to roll out with Victim. Thank you once again. Have a great night. Take care of yourself.
Have a blessed one.
And we'll stay on top of what you're doing with Kr8tive Uprising.
Yes, thank you. You have a blessed evening.
All right, thank you much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Carrying the burden of being victimized will only paralyze one's growth to his or her potential. Therefore, we must discard of the label of victim and live a life of resilience. Little girl black visiting family. Oh, didn't think that he would victimize me. I tried to fight, but he was twice the size of me. Oh, little girl black, why is this happening? I screamed no, he would not let me go, and he stole my confidence from me, and I didn't know why I was living like a VICTIM. What have they done to you to make you a man? Your daddy beats on you. You tried to fight, but he is twice the size of you. Oh, little boy blue, you don't have love for you. Even though you
Your tears from within, Blue, you are not her sin. And he didn't know, I didn't know why. He was living like a V-I-C-T-I-M. Living like a V-I-C-T-I-M. I was living like a V-I-C-T-I-M. And now I'm free. A few years older now, so scared to fight back, 'cause I forgot how, with no self-confidence, always settling for less, and for God we are blessed. Little boy Bill, now walking in his daddy's shoes. He beats on his girl, 'cause that's what he saw his father do. His heart is now black and blue, he don't know what to do. Oh, little boy Blue, your father is not you, hey. Even though it feels wrong, he don't know how to be strong, and he hates what he has become. Oh yeah, he didn't know why. He was living like a V-I-C-T-I-M.
Living like a V-I-C-T-I-M.
But now I'm free. Yes, now I'm free. No more black and blue victim living in me. Carrying the burden of being victimized will only paralyze one's growth to his own.
That was the sound of Alana. Victim. Bouncing in the background as we roll into this musical therapy segment. Sponsored by Sir Rockwell and the Wake Up and Live show. This is Gia Yee. The track is called Gaslit. From the Reggae Prescription album.
I chose my life, I couldn't stay. I chose my life, chose to walk away. I should have blocked the first fist that you threw. I should have run the moment that I knew. I sealed my fate that first day. I knew I'd have no going on. Gaslit until I realized something was truly wrong. I chose my life. I couldn't stay. I chose my life. Chose to walk away.
And on my old block is where I found a couple of hydrants on a wall. They shouted out.
This is the sound of Annette Brissett.
Where did they state it? Some was stretching, some was bawling out and loudly. Babylon
From the Lift Your Head album.
Babylon always trying to keep us under.
So the album is Lift Up Your Head. This track is Lift Our Head.
Don't you worry about a thing. Just to lift our head and rise against the pressure. Can't you see what a going out there? Disaster after disaster. What more can I say? What more can I do? I wonder who the hell they think they are fooling. Where were they long time ago when prophecy was revealing? High cost of
Before I could run, I found you already settled down.
10 minutes to the top of the hour,
Back of my
which means I have about 8 minutes before I get out of here.
I know this is just a customary feeling. The moon is our deceiver that will leave you running blind.
So, you see,
Your heart is pulling.
it's amazing how these connections happen.
I'll be falling.
From Annette Brissett
Deeper and deeper, it's true.
to a track which features Annette Brissett.
If I didn't know it,
This is Wild Tree,
I'd be in love.
the rendition of If I Didn't Know Any Better.
Before I could run, I found you already settled down in the back of my mind. I know this is just a customary feeling. The moon is our deceiver that will leave you running blind. Your heart is pulling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling. Deeper and deeper, it's true. I'd hear you calling. If I didn't know any better, and I'd be in love with you. Didn't want to look in the eyes of the one that I would be drawn to. I'm a moth lost in the fire. I know this is just a beautiful illusion, a case of the confusion between love and desire. Your heart is pulling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling. Deeper and deeper, it's true. I hear you calling. If I didn't know any better, and I'd be in love with you. Burn down and said, I can hear you down. And you,
I really like that well too.
if I ever came
Alana D, when she speaks, one will have a single choice: learn. When she sings, one has a single choice: dream. I really like that.
Your heart is pulling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling. Deeper and deeper, it's true. I hear you calling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be in love with you. My heart's pulling. Your heart is pulling. I'm in love. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling. Deeper and deeper, it's true. I hear you calling. I'm in love. If I didn't know any better, I'd be in love with you.
My heart is pulling.
New version to rock the nation. Coming your way.
As promised, this is G Mac.
You're gonna things you say you love.
That's the title of the track. Things you say you love.
Can't last too long. The way you are
minutes to the top of the hour.
You're gonna
Don't sleep on this one, folks.
things you say you love. You're gonna can't last too long the way you are flirting. Can't last too long the things you are doing. That's why I say blue. You're gonna things you say you love. You're gonna
I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your participation. I come back tomorrow. All being well, Sean Garrett joins me. Healthy Love Tuesday. I have one more for you.
last too long the things you are doing. That's why I say lose. You're gonna lose things you say you love. You're gonna lose.
So on Saturday,
Can't last too long the way
at the VP Showcase,
can't last too long.
this guy here
That's why I say lose.
opened up the show.
You're gonna things you say you love.
One of three brothers, blood brothers,
Things you
currently in South Florida in the music industry. He's the last one to really step out.
the bad things that you've done. You're gonna lose.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you the one and only Teddy Greaves Jr. And this is how we close out the night. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
My shattered dreams and broken heart are mending on a shelf. I saw you holding hands, standing close to someone else. Now I sit all alone, wishing all my feeling was gone. I gave my best to you, nothing for me to do but have one last cry before I leave it all behind. I gotta put you out of my mind this time. Stop living life. I guess I'm down to my last cry. I was here, you were there. Guess we never could agree. While the sun shines on you, I need some love to rain on me. Still I sit all alone, wishing all my feeling was gone. Gotta get over you, nothing for me to do but have one last cry before I leave it all behind. I gotta put you out of my mind for the very last time. Stop living life.
Catch you tomorrow, folks. Take care. Be safe.
Life goes on and on
Same time, same place, 10 till midnight.
and on.
And remember, we're encouraging you to, it's a movement, I should say. to have acceptance through enlightenment. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world. Until later on.
Is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.